Coming up on Two Noobs, someone at the White House is throwing a Coke party but forgot the cola. Speaking of stupid, you can check out of Mark Zuckerberg's place anytime you like, but you can never leave. Plus, years later than Back to the Future predicted, but you can finally pre-order a flying car when you take out a mortgage for it. And finally, an obscure meat council thinks it can bully me into eating a hot dog their way. We'll see about that. Episode 145. Start that music. And here we are, Two Noobs Talking, episode 140, the 5th. With me, I'm back. Hey, whoa. What's up with that? Oh, look at that. Magically appeared. With me, of course, over here is Jolly Green Giant John Tracy, who I'm going to have legally change his name. I'm legally changing your name so I have more a better letter to work with. I'm running out of J's.
There you go.
Over here is mathematically Matt Craig.
There you go.
And I, in the middle, am your host, your ruler. Satisfactorily, Steve Murray. Two Noobs Talking. How's it going, gentlemen? John, to you first. Or shall I call you Ned?
Ned.
There's lots of N-words. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
How are things going, sir? How was your 4th of July?
It was 4th and it was July. Burgers were good.
Good.
This Virginia state license apparently won't leave go my beer. Maybe it's a terrible beer koozie. On to what Matt has to say.
And I'll throw it to you, Matthias. How are things? How was your 4th of July?
Well, all was good. I did not set fire to the backyard. I'm very pleased about that. We had a great fireworks demonstration.
Oh, no.
Annual tradition at the Craig household. And we had some aerial fireworks this year. Little caught the family a little bit by surprise. Whoa, what the heck? You know, they're looking up and it's like, wow, we had some pretty good rockets going up there, but nothing, you know, no big fire, none of that stuff, which is what I was worried about. Fortunately for me, nothing got set on fire, which was great.
He's using that, John, as a cover because somebody lost a pinky. I'm sure
somebody did. Yeah.
He's just playing.
Boing! Now it's back.
I do have to thank Two Noobs' best friend Mikey Bowles for putting up his fireworks in Florida on Instagram, because that was about the extent of my fireworks display that I saw. So, but thanks, Mikey. Appreciate it.
There you go.
I didn't even have to leave the house.
Wow,
that's a shame. We had a nice fireworks display down in Ocean City. However, as I calculated mathematically with my physics background, with the speed of sound and where we were compared to the fireworks, we were 15 seconds off the audio.
Wow.
So at the conclusion, when they send up all the big boomers, the big bright ones that just make a loud noise, they don't really explode much. You know, they had a whole sequence of them. Well, they had been over for 15 seconds by the time we actually heard the So it was a little weird.
Yeah, I bet it would be. Yeah.
Not gonna lie. But I had a good time on vacation. It was
nice.
But some people need to learn some beach etiquette. It's just the way I'll put it. Teenagers
40 rant.
suck.
Yeah.
If you do not have to, you do not plop down right in front of someone.
Yes.
Bullcrap.
Space.
Yeah, buffer zone.
What happened to social distancing, dude?
I was just going to say, like, what is the
it's not
buffer,
in now.
What is the rule now for the buffer zone on the beach? Are we talking 6 feet here, or are we talking 12 feet apart? Like, what?
6 feet is arbitrary, but I mean,
of course, that's why I threw it out there,
John. Don't sit next to me. Like, we're not in high school. You don't need to cram in so all the class can hear. Like, 2
Right?
paces, maybe, and then plop down, I'm totally cool with that. Like,
Yeah.
Steve?
I mean, it depends. It depends on the size of the crowd.
Yeah.
Obviously, the less crowd, the more you should space out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
I just I feel that way. I like the half rule. You know, you find 2 groups, you split the difference between the 2
Yeah,
groups. And
absolutely.
halves, you know,
Absolutely.
Love
no,
it.
but it did. 4th of July down there was probably the crowdiest day we had, but you know, there was still room, and
There you go.
it's amusing at the beach because it's like the population of Canada. Because there's all this space from the dunes where the houses start,
Yes.
and then you have the water, and 95% of the population is concentrated within like 10 feet of the water, and there's the rest of this open space back toward the dunes. But
Love
enough
it.
about me. We've got a fun fact and an over 40 rant. John, I believe, is supplying both of them today, and supplying you with energy drinks is W Energy Drinks, because that's what they
There you
do.
go.
That's their
There you
job.
go.
And our job is to tell you that you can get 10% off your order if you use the promo code 2 Noobs Talking, TOO, Noobs, NOO, not NUB, Noobs Talking. And that's W.GG, by the way, DUBBY. So, John, lead off with whatever you want to first.
Nice. All right. So we'll keep it in standard order. We'll do our fun fact.
There you go.
If that's the order we go in, okay.
So yeah, I think we do. I think so.
Most of the time.
Yes. So what I bring to you today is that cartoons lie to us. A coyote
No.
is more than twice as fast as a roadrunner. So all that cartoonness is a bunch of BS. A coyote his maximum speed of a coyote has been clocked at 43 miles per hour. Maximum speed of a roadrunner,
Wow.
20 miles an hour.
Since when did John become the most negative fun person? He's taking all the fun out of this. Good grief.
He's like that guy who ruined the Bermuda Triangle for
Pretty
everyone.
much, yes, pretty much,
Yeah.
pretty much. And if anybody follows me on Facebook, go back to 2015. I ruined Nemo for all the kids.
Okay, gonna do that.
I
right
will
now.
never
Go ahead, John.
repost it again, but I totally did. My wife's still mad at me for that.
There you go. Nice.
Well, is she delivering the over 40 about that, or what?
Yes, apparently. Yes, I'm waiting. Okay, now on to the over 40. So I was watching Instagram and Twitter and the eating contest.
Hot dog
Apparently,
eating contest?
The Nathan's annual. It apparently got canceled
yeah.
and then reset, and then a bunch of people went to the internet and said some things, and of course Dave Portnoy said nobody was listening, but he said something and it didn't make any sense, and then the contest happened, and Joey Chestnut won again because he wins all eating contests apparently. My problem was whatever that dude's name is, the new center of the Spurs that I hear too much of because I live in South Texas, took to
Yeah.
Instagram and said that Joey Chestnut was the greatest athlete ever. I have a
boy.
problem with that. Joey Chestnut is not even
An athlete.
the worst. He's not even the worst player on the 83 Expos good. He eats fucking hot dogs. Like, that's all he
Whoa.
does.
Now, hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
3-time Stanley Cup champion Phil Kessel
Yeah.
is a noted hot dog eater. You can win things and
okay.
eat hot dogs.
No.
Phil
But
Kessel.
if Phil Kessel won and you called him the greatest athlete, I'd be like, all right, well, he's a damn good hockey player and he eats hot dogs. I would consider him to be a better athlete than Joey Chestnut.
Yeah.
Joey
Agreed.
Chestnut is not even close to being an athlete, and this delusional people that are now athletes that are like, he's better than I am. The dude's an NBA player, and he's calling this dude a athlete. He was drafted number 1 in the NBA. His delusional mindset of what an athlete Embiid's gonna hurt that kid. It's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. If that's your mindset going into the NBA, bro, B-ball Paul might even hurt you.
I don't get that. It's not really a sport. It's a competitive eating contest.
It's a competition. It's an eating competition. If he was the greatest eater in the world, that would have been a great post.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
If he but the greatest athlete?
No. Not even close.
Come
Not
on,
even close, Johnny.
come on.
Not even close. Yeah.
Nope.
It'd be more impressive if he ate the hot dog and did a bicep curl. If he's doing that,
He'd probably have a heart attack.
Maybe.
Well, see, the problem there is he needs to eat as many hot dogs as he does. He needs to kind of double fist it. So if he's doing bicep curls, that's one hand less hot dogs. You're gonna half the number.
That's true.
It's just not fair.
Next year, I think we should throw hot dogs at Joey Chestnut to see how many he can eat. I personally will be the thrower.
Imagine you go to Coney Island, you're just chucking hot
6
dogs.
feet away, just throwing hot dogs right.
That actually would be fun. Like try to land them in his mouth.
Yeah, I do like fastball style.
Zoom! Wow! Homer Simpson. Yeah.
That's what I want. That's an eating contest.
I'll give you all the hot dogs in the world.
That's athletic. I will give.
That
you
is true. That is true. That's funny.
All right. Well, now to the stupid stuff. Topic 1.
On to the other stupid stuff.
The other stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Topic 1. This came up while I was on vacation. Quite a thing going on they have at the White House there. National Review article. White House cocaine was actually found in working area of West Wing, despite initial reports.
Uh-oh.
Contrary to early reports, the cocaine found within the White House on Sunday, this would be July 2nd, was located in a cubby beside the West Executive entrance and within a working area of the West Wing. Initial reports had suggested that the controlled substance was found in a locker in the West Wing lobby, where tour guests often leave personal belongings such as cell phones. However, multiple sources familiar with the investigation told NBC News that the cocaine was actually discovered by Secret Service in the area between the West Executive entrance foyer, or foyer for you Frenchies, and a lower-level lobby, one floor below the main West Wing offices and on the same floor as the Situation Room. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Official vehicles, such as the Vice President's limo, park outside the West Executive entrance. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
Yes, Jean-Pierre.
Jean-Pierre. Okay.
Jean-Pierre.
All right. Stressed that the initially reported location where the cocaine was supposed to have been found is heavily trafficked by visitors. What I wanted to be very clear is that this is a heavily trafficked, heavily traveled, to be more accurate, area of the campus of the White House, she said. It is where visitors to the West Wing come through.
Some of her best quotes of the year, by the way.
Very clear, heavy.
Yeah, coherent sentences. I mean, that's what.
NBC's Andrea Mitchell reported that the new location is a much more secure place with limited access, and that normal people, average people, John,
me,
can't get in there. The plebes, in other words.
The lesser of people.
Yes, sir.
How concerned are you about this cocaine found at the White House and where it was found?
Well, my level of concern would probably be in the mid to high 60s in terms of percentages.
And the humidity?
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, the current humidity right now. I would say, am I not surprised? No, I'm not surprised. This is the Biden White House. Everything is a go in that White House, from the cocaine to everything else that goes on in there. This does not surprise me one bit. Unfortunately, we have, our president right now, unfortunately, is a little older, doesn't know exactly what's going on. So monkey see, monkey do, I guess, at this point. It is concerning, obviously. And then, of course, like later on, Trump couldn't help himself.
No, of course not.
On top of that, was basically saying, well, this belongs to Hunter Biden. And like his own former press secretary said, are you kidding me? No, it's not even close. Not even close. Like Hunter Biden's nowhere near there in that regard. So, but the fact that it was found there, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me one bit. In that regard, unfortunately, it is what it is. Who it was, I guess that's TBD, or on a need to know basis.
Does it concern you? Does it concern you that the initial reports of where it was located was incorrect? Do you think that was intentional or just a mistake?
Honestly, I think at this point, Steve, really with the media, any initial report has to be given with a ton of grain of salt. And I mean, like, we're not talking a little bit of salt. We're talking a whole canister of salt, because everything they've reported from an initial standpoint is bullshit to begin with. So I don't really, in my estimation, really, you have to wait for things to kind of settle down. This idea of breaking news. Oh my God, we found cocaine in the White House. And it's like, well, it's between the West Wing and that's where tourists are. And it's, well, wait a minute. Wait, time out. They check you for everything going in. If you go in to do a visit of the White House, everything from the background checks to the actual physical searching of your person. So the fact
body
that
cavity searches.
Yeah. That kind of thing. What kind of blood type do you have? That kind of a thing.
A friend of mine said that going to visit the White House is literally like when you're in kindergarten class and they file you into that little cubby hole and you gotta put all your stuff, like empty your pockets. You gotta do that's how he described it. He was like, it's like you're going on a school trip. Like everything is accounted for. Like you can't have. There's nothing in your sock. There's nothing in your pocket. There's not, like, they make sure everything is out before you even go in.
Yeah. Well, I get Matt's concern about how the media always jumps the gun and tries to be the first rather than be accurate.
Yep.
But in this instance, the initial report was it was a touristy area where, anyone could have come in and deposited it. Yeah. Now we're hearing that it's in a location where it's more likely to be belonging to someone who works at the White House.
Yes.
So was it an accident? I'm not so sure, in regard to that reporting. The article does go on. The culprit is not likely to be found. A law enforcement official involved in the matter told Politico. It's going to be very difficult for us to do that because of where it was, the official said. Even if there were surveillance cameras, unless you are waving it around, hey, here's my Coke bag. It may not have been caught. It's a bit of a thoroughfare. People walk by there all the time. John, you buying that they can't figure this out?
I think it's irrelevant that they can figure it out or not. It just shows the leadership. It's not a tightly run ship. I mean, if they find it, what is going to be, a slap on the wrist? Don't bring your Coke to work, there, buddy. Like that's what I thought when I read this article. I'm like, they're throwing it out there. I think this was a reporter that found some secret out and wanted to try to gain some steam, and the system just knocked it down. Okay, this report here, here. We'll never find out who it's going to be. It's status quo for the administration. It really is. It's lack of pure leadership. I mean, even Clinton ran a tighter White House.
Yeah,
we would think.
Yeah.
At least for the media to find anything that was probably in his sock drawer.
Well,
wink.
I was going to say, this is probably, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. This is probably not the first time there's been cocaine in the White House, frankly.
Yes, I absolutely 100% agree with that statement. That's
so.
But it's never gotten out to the media.
Right.
Yeah.
So in that instance, you're right. It does bother me that it seems like surveillance cameras. We have
Yes.
The quality of camera on your phone these days is impeccable.
Yeah.
I mean, I took some fabulous shots down the beach, yet
Mhm.
somehow surveillance cameras still appear to be running on Real Player from the year 2000.
Yeah.
Um,
Along with the fax machines from the CDC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Federal government's
Yeah.
great at not upgrading, apparently.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So Matt, what about you? Are you hopeful they catch somebody here? Do you does it
Yeah.
bother
Yeah,
you that they don't think they can?
Well, I mean, my hope is that they do catch the culprit, obviously, and fire. That there is a full investigation into this, and that whoever is using the cocaine, I mean, that is a fireable offense in some
Absolutely.
circles.
Absolutely.
That is a definite fireable offense. Do I have confidence? No, not in this administration. They have to prove a lot to me in order for this to be done. And when you have your son that is a notorious user of this, that's why you have a Trump that says what he says on Twitter. That's why he can't help himself by going after the guy. And granted, Hunter Biden has a lot of issues and a lot of problems, no question about it. But at the same time, it's like, I want there to be a full investigation on this, and I want there to be a resolution, and that person to be canned and fired from the White House. There's no excuse for it.
If
Period.
nothing else, if it's not his, somebody at the White House should know better than to bring it in, because that's just temptation staring you in the face.
Absolutely.
It's in the building. You know what I mean? So yeah, so to be continued. We shall see where this ends up. Probably nowhere, because that's just Putin's losing the war in Iraq. I don't know.
Yeah.
God save the Queen, man.
Twice.
All right, continuing with the theme that things always happen while I'm away. Topic 2 here from The Independent. People cannot leave Instagram's Threads app without deleting their whole account, rules warn. What the hell is Threads? I don't know. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Meta's new Threads app will not let people leave without deleting their whole... Way to go, Independent. Just repeat the topic in the first sentence. The app launched just hours ago. Well, this is days ago at this point, because we're not up to speed here on Too Noobs. And appears to have already received tens of millions of signups. It came at a particularly difficult time for Twitter, which has been limiting how many posts people can see. I don't think I've gone a day where I've hit that limit yet, by the way.
Me neither.
And has tight integration with Instagram, which makes it easy to sign up. However, people are not able to reverse that sign up process once it has happened, users have found. It's like if someone starts using Threads and then wants to leave again, they will be forced to delete their entire Instagram account. Thread users can deactivate their profile, which will stop posts and interactions with other people's posts from being shown. But that data will continue to live on parent company Meta's servers and will remain connected to the Instagram account it came from. But it is not possible to fully delete it without getting rid of all Instagram data. Your Threads profile is part of your Instagram account and may be deleted at any time by deleting your Instagram account, a supplemental privacy policy published for Threads warns. John, Threads, what the hell?
It's Facebook all over again. They are like Meta is the worst fictional drug dealer ever. They're almost like you can kind of like, well, you should try this and maybe this will work, but you gotta get rid of all of it. If not, like, you can't get rid of Instagram if you don't get rid of Facebook. You can't get rid of this if you can't get rid of that. Can't have Reels if you don't have a Facebook page. Yeah. If you don't have a Facebook page, then you can't have a second Facebook page. But when you have Reels on both of them, then you got to do this. They're so dumb. Of course they would. Of course they would link Threads to Instagram, like, because they're trying to push the. Oh, You don't like Elon, we'll give you a shitty version of what the shitty version that Elon's already giving you. And you can have the same reaction to it, because Threads it's literally Twitter. It's copy and paste Twitter. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Do you want Meta's version of Twitter, or do you want Elon Musk's version of Twitter? Or be like most of us, we don't really like Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean, are we just going to end up back at the same place?
Yes.
As we were with Twitter? I mean,
Yes. Literally.
What's the people from doing the same thing on Threads that they would do Twitter anyway?
Yeah.
The only cool thing that is happening out of this whole thing is Elon Musk is threatening to bring back Vines, which is probably the coolest thing on the internet ever that was retired. So let Facebook bring another shitty app to the party. They don't do anything right. So even their version of Twitter is not going to be good.
Yeah.
Well, Meta has said that it is working on the problem, presumably with a view to allowing people to get rid of their Threads account without deleting all of their data. The issue is just one of a range of problems that users have identified on the first day with Instagram's Threads app. Many other users have complained, for instance, that there is no way to see only posts from accounts they have actually followed. Instagram has built Threads to recommend posts from other accounts it thinks users are interested in too, presumably in an attempt to ensure that the newsfeed is full up even when users start using the app. Matt, I know you've signed up for Threads already, right?
Yeah, no, I haven't. John, I'm just telling you, like right now, I know you're over a couple screens over. Don't you dare. Don't you even dare put Two Noobs talking.
I'm noobs in it.
Threads.
I'm noobs in it.
We are definitely squashing that at this point. Query. Why, if you're launching an app that's an alpha, basically, you go past the beta testing, right? You're testing this whole thing out. You launch it to the public, and now you have a problem where it basically is deleting everybody's data. Why didn't this get caught in quality control? That's my first question.
My theory is this. A lot of times when you have an app being developed, it's being developed by someone who is super smart, computer geek, who doesn't think like the average person.
Got it.
And how the average person would use it, would view things. It's always, I've got this super cool idea. I'm just going to put it out there. And it's never interpreted from the average user's standpoint. And that's why I think a lot of that trouble comes about.
I think that is a fantastic answer to my question. Thank you for
You're welcome.
Steve. Yeah, I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome. This ends Two Noobs for the now.
We're done.
But yeah, I'm not surprised either. Like with Johnny, I'm not surprised that this is failing. Once again, it's the metaverse all over again, just in smaller form. Right. And to be perfectly honest, a lot of people are like rejoicing with glee over this app because they don't like Twitter anymore. And yet all Elon has done is basically said, well, okay, we want more freedom of speech on this platform. And we want to also limit your usage on it as well. I think those are two pretty good suggestions to improve that particular app. Just me saying that. Less social interaction on Twitter, more social interaction in person. Who would have thunk it? Would have been a great idea.
I don't need that advice from Elon, but I'm glad he's at least spewing that kind of nonsense. Jokingly, it's not like he's trying to rule the world. He's making when he makes sense and the media goes, "What is he doing?" I tend to look at the media and go, "What is your issue? Why is every time he says something normal, you're freaking out? I don't understand."
But I need to read 10,000 tweets a day.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
No,
it does not.
I think the limit for users like me is 600 a day, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, I don't think I've even come close to looking that many.
Yeah.
That's who cares?
I'm like 4 thumb swipes. I have two networks, the NBC or whatever. I have the Flyers, the Eagles, the Sixers, you, Tom, and then Adam Rosenberg, and then a couple other people, and then a couple off-site hockey or basketball or that, and I'll run through and I maybe 5 minutes. Is there any kind of breaking news? Is anybody talking about anything interesting? Twitter's done for the day. Move on. So maybe I see 20 posts a day. And that's what I think the average user, we're not talking Tom. Tom's on from when I get up to when I go to bed. I can understand why he's pissed. But the average person that I talk to about Twitter says about the same thing. It's a quick, maybe morning, afternoon, night. So maybe you're on 3 times a day, just checking news.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So I don't think it affects. I don't think that affects anybody. What is Threads? They want you to be on there from after you get off of Facebook in the morning. They want you to jump on Threads, and that gets you to the afternoon. Then you take pictures of puppies on Instagram. Then after dinner, you go back on Threads and you spend all night. Is that what they're trying to do?
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the thing also too. What I was also going to say in regards to free speech. This idea that now Threads has been basically blocking, guess what? Conservative voices. Once again, we got a problem, right?
Shocking.
But here is my fail-proof solution for all of this, right? What you do is you identify those people on their accounts, and you know what you do? You block them. That's all you have to do. You don't have to go to Threads and complain about, oh, this person's spreading false information. You can just block them if you disagree with them.
Shocking.
It's really that simple. Who would have thought it?
There's a button.
That's just my 5 cents, for that. But it's a ridiculous app to begin with. If you're tying it to an Instagram account and then all of a sudden, if you want to leave Threads, you got to delete your entire Instagram account. Well, no, I don't want to do that. It's like, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Dumbest idea, once again, from Mark Zuckerberg.
Well, and the more I read this article, it sounds exactly like Twitter. Like Twitter also puts in posts it thinks you're gonna like.
Yep.
So that your feed, I get tweets from random locations and individuals, and
do you get them from me? By the way, I don't know.
I don't.
Oh,
I don't. Okay. It breaks my heart.
Yeah,
that you don't actively post on Twitter, so I can't follow your life and what you're eating, and,
damn it,
all that
fun stuff.
I could tell you if you'd like. I have New York cheesecake actually for dinner, right? Or dessert.
Matt's gonna text
I'm gonna have it right now.
Matt's gonna text you 3 times a day. You won't have to worry about his
Steve, just so you know, breakfast with.
Here's a picture.
Here's a picture.
Not like we don't text enough. I mean, are we going to add food to it?
Might as well at this point.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. I'm trying to inject some Instagram into my veins. It's not working.
I didn't know you could do that.
That's the next wave, John. You didn't know?
Nice.
Come on.
Soon it will happen.
What is that called?
It's called the Biden White House.
It's got to be a better name than Threads.
Oh, man.
Non sequitur. Topic 3. I guess this is for the weird file. I leave that to Matt, yay or nay.
Maybe.
It was your article, so.
It is. Well,
New York Post here. World's first fully electric flying car approved by FAA and accepting pre-orders. Exciting. A California company building a flying electric car is now taking pre-orders. Aleph Aeronautics' flying car has been given a special airworthiness certification from the Federal Aviation Administration, meaning... So it was given a sack.
Yes, it was.
Meaning the company will be allowed to road/air test the car, the company said in a news release. The fully electric vehicle, with a hydrogen option for a higher price, is a low-speed vehicle that can be driven up to 200 miles on public roads and fits into a regular garage. But It can also launch vertically into the air with a flying range of 110 miles, according to ALF's website. Customers can pre-order the vehicle, which can seat up to 2 people, and is expected to cost around $300,000. An FAA spokesperson told Fox Business it issued a SAC for the Armada Model 0 aircraft on June 12, 2023. This SAC allows the aircraft to be used for limited purposes, including exhibition, research, and development. So far, not standard individual use. Matt, I know you're going to be first in line for one of these flying cars. Being the Back to the Future fan you are.
Yeah, not to complain, but I think it would probably knock off one of the zeros, make it $30,000, and I would be interested for sure. But this is quite interesting, gents. This kind of takes me back to the old cartoons of, what was it called? The Jetsons.
Jetsons. Sure.
And, the flying cars that they would go to work back in the day.
Yeah.
With electric cars, stuff like that. Kind of intriguing, but I foresee some. This is going to be very interesting if the FAA has allowed this to happen and they're taking pre-orders for this. It's going to be interesting to see how people are going to drive this car and actually fly it as well. I could see pilots doing it, but do I see the regular consumer doing it? Probably not.
I'm actually kind of glad for that extra zero because I think that will limit the number of stupid people navigating these things around the area, because I really don't want to get smacked in the face by a flying electric car.
Can you imagine?
ALF first unveiled the car last October and said it has already taken a strong number of pre-orders from people and businesses. The FAA is working on policies for the takeoff and landing of electric vehicles, the company said. CEO Jim Duchovny and co-founders Konstantin Kisley, Pavel Markin, and Oleg Petrovir
Sounds like the third line for the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, right. Exactly. They were inspired to first try to create a flying car in 2015 when they realized it was the same year Marty McFly drove one in Back to the Future 2. Duchovny added that the certification from the FAA allows us to move closer to bringing people an environmentally friendly and faster commute, saving individuals and companies hours each week. This is one small step for planes, one giant step for cars. John, is this really going to alleviate traffic and make our trips faster, or are we just going to create a hell of a mess up in the sky?
I mean, it's cool to think about, to have a flying car. I did see someone was talking about it today. They said if it does that 100 miles in the air, it's gonna turn sideways to do it, but yet the people in the car don't rotate with the car. So just think about you're sitting in the steering wheel, you're going that way for that 100 miles, because that's how these things operate.
Wow.
So it's like the new Batwing.
Yes, they have yet to, from what I read, they don't have a model quite yet that will go 300 miles, and that's their main goal. For air travel is 300. I don't buy a helicopter like everybody else. I don't understand. Like, at
that price, yeah, why not?
Yeah, if you're spending $300,000, buy a helicopter. It already is the flying car. Jerry Jones does not drive in a car. Jerry Jones has a helicopter, and he goes from point to point to point to point, and he does a really good job at it. He bought a flying car back in the 90s. And he probably paid less than that.
That's true.
Probably.
That's very true. Yeah. It's interesting, Jens. I was just going to say, it is kind of interesting, though, to see the technology kind of go in this direction now, I would think. But yeah, I think to John's point, life cycle, right? I mean, I would love to know like how long this would potentially last. So you're making a $300,000 investment. Oh boy, you know what I mean? Like the maintenance and the upkeep. You got multiple moving parts in there too. You know, if you're having a flying car, that kind of a deal. So there are multiple moving parts. Just something to think about. Your insurance has got to be outrageous.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
On top of that, and that just came to me. It was just like, wait a minute. That's got to be nuts.
And another thing, think about the taxes we're gonna have to pay because they're gonna have to change each roadway for takeoff and landing points because you just can't catapult a car for no reason. Like, get the left lane, we'll shoot you up. Like, that's not how that's gonna work. Like, there needs to be a special lane for that. Like,
it's not like you're going to fly right into the city of Philadelphia. That doesn't work that way, that kind of deal.
Not how they're making it seem like that's how it's going to work. It's the amount of changes to the road you're going to have to make in cities and outside of cities. You might be able to pull it off
if you fly into the. I was just going to say, Johnny, you might be able to fly it into the Ben Franklin Parkway, maybe. But then it's like you got all that traffic to deal with.
Well,
that's gonna be
has anyone considered that, if you have a part fail, this isn't like you just pull off to the side of the road. You're going to fall out of the sky.
No, it falls out of the sky. Yes. I mean, that happens with...
Just saying.
Happens with helicopters too, but very unlikely that it's going to happen over a major highway.
But helicopters have been around for quite some time now, and the kinks have pretty much been worked out, I would think.
I would hope so.
And you have to have special training to fly a helicopter in the first place.
Yeah.
Whereas we're talking about giving the average Joe keys to a car that can take off in the air. Yeah, this is
not a Class C license. No way. They better make another letter. It's between CDL and you can't do that. That's where that needs to fall.
Precisely.
Kind of right down the middle between the two.
Precisely. I mean, today has just been one disaster after another. We're going to have Joe Biden flying around in a car on his Threads app.
Yep.
With an electric car flying all over the place in the White House.
Exactly.
Sideways.
But now topic 4, the most controversial of all. We're getting into the serious business here.
Oh boy.
Another New York Post article. Adults should never, ever put this on a hot dog. Grow up, experts say.
Whoa.
Okay, piss off.
Yeah, exactly. That's the first thing we need to talk about.
That's the first thing to say. And now to the article. Slathering a Frankfurter in a layer of cool, tangy ketchup is a foodie faux pas for folks 18 and over, according to, get this, the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, which argues that the condiment is strictly for kids. In fact, the top dog of the organization says dressing a wiener with ketchup is, well, kind of weenie. If you can vote, it's time for your taste buds to vote for a hot dog without ketchup, NHDSC President Eric Mittenthal told the Post.
Wow.
Mark Rosen.
He just wanted to use a quote so he could say the word wiener without having to say the word
I didn't
wiener.
realize there was a National Hot Dog and Sausage Council.
I don't think anybody did, nor do I think one should exist to begin with.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares.
My question is, do they have monthly meetings? Like, where's the newsletter? What's going on over here?
And
I think they like the word wiener, though.
Probably. They work with him every day. And frankly, such a council should not be giving me advice on what to put on my hot dog. But
agreed.
Yes.
Mark Rosen, vice president of marketing for Sabret, the official hot dog of Madison Square Garden, he told the Post that in the dog-eat-dog world, there's absolutely no shame in putting ketchup on a hot dog. We don't see too many adults doing it anymore, said Rosen, but if they do, it's totally fine. But Mittenthal, who also works as the chief strategy officer at the North American Meat Institute. All right, get a real job, dude.
Oh my God.
This dude is... Wow.
Oh,
John
man.
speechless.
This dude is literally, he's the Eric Swalwell of hot dogs.
Oh,
How many more
my
names does he
gosh.
have on his,
Wow.
does he just
Well-
line them up on his t-shirt?
Well, Meat Man has long been adamant that ketchup and hot dogs don't mix. He voiced his disdain. That's DISDAIN, by the way, New York Post.
Oh, there you go.
Spell check.
Yep.
For the tomato-based sauce in a 2021 press statement saying, no matter how you top it, any hot dog is delicious. Well, except for hot dogs with ketchup. He added, the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council Etiquette Guide says
God.
only children should eat their hot dogs with ketchup.
Does
John, wipe the
etiquette guide
tears
come
from-
with stickers and a coloring book?
It
That's
ought
all I
to.
want to know.
It
Yeah,
ought to.
seriously. Yeah.
What do you,
Any
John?
good
What do you
etiquette
think?
guide would.
What do you think of this clown organization telling us how to eat a hot dog?
This dude needs to shut up. Like, for a really long time in my life, I felt like a loser until now. Jesus.
That's not true, Johnny. Stop it.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a part of two organizations that are full of complete shit. I love sausage. I love hot dogs. I love cured meat. I'm a big fan. I did not know there were these kind of rules when I joined these organizations. When I decided that I liked hot dogs, I did not know that I was bowing to this guy. Apparently, that I can't put I'll just give up. I won't put ketchup on a hot dog.
It's
anymore.
in the fine print when you buy the ballpark Franks. It says by opening this package, you agree to abide by the rules of the National Asshole Institute for Sausage and Hot Dog Administration.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
better rules than the MLB.
Yeah, Johnny, I will say this. You're not a loser. You could be the chief strategy officer at the North American Meat Institute. Okay, that's pretty much a loser.
I mean, I'm
that point.
I'm pretty sure I could get that job if I
Fastball.
I mean, I eat meat. I could probably
sausage.
qualify.
Yeah, chief strategy officer. That my question is, how much do they get paid? What do they strategize about with hot dogs?
It's got to be free.
Meat! Throw meat at people.
They do exactly what I want to do at the next hot dog thing. They throw meat at people.
See, it all comes full circle.
There you go.
Sadly, some idiots agree with this idiot. Ketchup is for kids, not adults, insisted content creator, okay, get a real job, Jim Florentine, in a saucy snippet. Get over it. Ketchup is liquid sugar
never
and
do that again,
chemicals. Influencer, Uncle Gabe, echoed similar sentiments to his over 1 million followers. That's why are you following this idiot? He says in part, I'm eating a hot dog without ketchup because I'm not an idiot. Yes, you are an idiot. And I don't even put ketchup on hot dogs and you're an idiot.
No, neither do I.
But link lovers across the nation seem to disagree. A May 2021 survey by the NHDSC BGTA 3975 National Meat Institute of Knuckleheads found that 61% of Americans enjoy smothering their hot dogs with a few healthy squeezes of ketchup. The Crimson Goop ranked second among hot dog enhancers, outperforming relish, chili, and cheese in the poll. It closely trailed mustard, which reigned supreme as the countrywide favorite. Matt, do you slather ketchup on your weenie? Yeah, or nay?
Oh my.
Regroup.
I don't know how to answer that question, Steve.
You might have to check out.
Yeah, I might have to check out. Good night, everybody. No, I'm kidding. I've gone back and forth between the two gentlemen, to be perfectly honest. I don't care what a chief strategy officer says, what I should and shouldn't do to a hot dog. First of all, it's my hot dog. I'll eat it any damn way I want it to.
Damn straight.
You know, in that regard, sometimes, like for me,
America.
there's cheese in there, a little bit of bacon, possibly, a little bit of relish I'll throw in there, right? Got a little mustard, and hell yeah, I'm putting ketchup on it. I'm
There
not
you
a
go.
child. I know that, but it's like, I like all those flavors on my hot dog. I want to have a little bit of flavor with it. Nothing wrong with that in that regard. It's amazing that they say it qualifies for kids, but the moment you turn 18, you got to get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Like,
I-
seriously. Like,
I take offense to that one because
mhm.
again, full disclosure, I eat my hot dog completely bare, so I just in the raw.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy ketchup on other things like chicken, burgers.
Mhm.
I'll even put it on steak if it's available. So
Ooh.
screw you guys.
Yeah, there you go. That's bold.
So,
Yeah,
you know,
that's bold.
and I'm an over 40 ranting individual. I am not a
Absolutely.
child. I just happen to like ketchup. So screw you. I'm not a
Yeah.
child. You're a child for making this an issue and working at the National Meat Institute of Nazi pig heads.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
But this also this is on the heels of another controversial issue that came up the week prior, and I'm happy you gents saved this for me again as
Yes,
a ketchup
yes.
connoisseur myself.
There you go.
Which was that Heinz tried to settle the debate on whether or not to refrigerate ketchup by saying you absolutely do. I disagree wholeheartedly with Heinz. I
You
actually
put the ketchup in the refrigerator.
no, I don't.
Oh, you
No,
don't?
Heinz
No.
says you put it in the refrigerator. I do not put it in the refrigerator. I
Got it.
used to until I realized you don't have to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was always under the impression that it was mandatory,
Mm.
to keep it fresh or whatever. And then I realized, no, you don't have to keep it in the fridge. And because I like warmer ketchup. I don't like, you got a hot burger, let's say,
Yeah.
and then you're putting 33-degree ketchup on top of it. It's a contrast of temperatures.
That's
No.
a shock.
Yeah. Give me, you go to a restaurant, it's warm ketchup,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I leave it out. The label says for best results, refrigerate. Now, I eat ketchup and my two kids also eat ketchup. So ketchup goes quickly, so I don't need to abide by the best results. If your ketchup is going to last around the house for 2 months, okay, maybe you ought to refrigerate it. But
There you
I
go.
disagree with Heinz. Where do you two stand on this issue? John, I go to you first.
I follow direction of ketchup. The ketchup I have says keep refrigerated after opening. So I keep refrigerated
Interesting.
after opening.
So you keep her. There you
Only
go.
because it says that. If it said you have a choice, I probably I don't ketchup. My wife eats a lot of ketchup. The kid eats a lot of ketchup. I do not eat. I'm very about that like that much. I mean, in a
Really?
month, I do not eat a lot of ketchup. I eat a lot of
Is it the
sriracha. I
taste?
eat a hot. No, it's just not something that it's not my thing. I do from time to time. I will be like, oh, do we have ketchup? And I'll put it on a burger or I'll put it on something. But it's
Oh, man.
never my first. It's just not. I haven't really had ketchup like that since I was in my 20s. It's just I think it's a texture thing for me, really. It's weird. Like I stopped eating on cheesesteaks when I was like 12. And that was like
Yeah.
that was like my main go-to. I used to be like I only liked ketchup on my cheesesteak. And then that went away, and then that kind of went away for everything. It went away on the burger, it went away on the hot dog, it went away on pretty much everything. So it's very rare I do like the taste of ketchup. I have like no issue with it independently, but I don't eat it as much as you would think one would.
All right, Matt, where do you fall in this debate? John just does what he's told.
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
It gave me directions. I followed it.
There you go. Like Johnny, though, I have not had ketchup since moving into the condo here. I usually get A1 steak sauce as my branded condiment whenever I have like a burger or when I cook
There you go.
a steak sandwich. I usually have the A1 sauce handy or any other steak sauce handy. Lately, I've been on a kick where I've been adding like herbs and spices on top of food and stuff like that. So I've been that's usually my flavor now. So I find myself using less and less condiments as a result of that. Now, let's just say if I'm in a diner and I have a hamburger, the first thing I go for is the ketchup on the hamburger. Like I've got to have it. It has to be in there. The one thing that I can't stand about ketchup is when it's in the glass bottle and you have to pound it out of there, and it's like, then all of a sudden you got a big old sploosh out. That's terrible. That kind
squeeze bottles are preferred. Yes.
Yeah, squeeze bottles are much
double
more
screw
preferred.
you, Heinz, with your glass bottles and your dumb tweets.
Like seriously, like perfect your glass bottles, please, for the love of God. In that regard. So, but if I were to have ketchup here, that would be very interesting. I could see the argument if you keep it in the refrigerator. You're talking that temperature is like in the mid to low to mid 30s, right? So you've got something that's been cooked at a very high temperature, 400 or 500 degrees if you're cooking a hamburger, right? So you've got that huge discrepancy. You have to let that burger kind of settle down a little bit in order for the temperature to come down, for it to be eatable. But I think the shock of having that on the hamburger itself, I think it would be a different taste for sure. So I would probably keep it out of the refrigerator. It would be a close 51-49% kind of thing. But I don't eat it all that much. That's the thing. I don't have it in the house. I just don't. Mustard's a totally different story. That's in the refrigerator, period. I keep that in the refrigerator all the time.
I think that does say, to John's point, I think that does say you need to refrigerate it.
Yeah.
Because something will probably happen to it if you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas ketchup is more fortified. It's like
tomato.
It can stand. It can stand to be out there. Yeah, tomato.
But yet a tomato is like one of the weakest vegetables.
Yeah, right.
It is
when you
kind
turn
of
it into ketchup,
to be perfectly honest.
I like when you do a pasta sauce recipe and it tells you, okay, take the whole tomatoes and just crush them. It's like
just with your hand. You don't even need the
right.
show them a knife. They'll fall apart.
How did you make this? Well, I crushed this tomato with my bare hands.
I looked at it in the drawer.
Did you wash your hands? No. Oh my gosh.
Oh, on that note, that'll do it this week for Two Noobs Talking episode 145. Wow. That's a high number, and it's just going to keep on climbing. Hopefully, we will never hear from that idiot at the New Jersey Health Dog Center for Disease.
Hot dog and sausage, weird guy.
Yeah. Hopefully, we won't hear from him again because he's got as much credibility as certain CDC directors around here. Well, gentlemen, since that's it, anything further to say to the crowd before we depart?
One, I am really happy you are back because I really went when I was really hosting this. So thank you for doing it. As always, Steve, and it's great to have you back, brother.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate being missed. It's always good to have that feeling.
Yes.
There you go.
And John will just remain speechless because
you are missed. You were missed, but you were back now, so I don't have to miss you.
There you go.
All right, and I'll be back again next week unless something weird happens in the interim. Until then, we shall see thee later.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for listening to us here at Two Noobs Talking. If you want more of Two Noobs on social media, we're here for you. You can find us by searching Two Noobs Talking on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Clapper. Have a great week, and we look forward to delivering another great episode to you next week. Take care.